The following is a special presentation of NBC Sports.
Right now we're about 19,500 feet and moving up.
GreatTrango Tower stands among the tallest mountains in the world in the Karakoram range of the Himalaya.
Do or die, right?
Oh yeah.
3 of the world's most skilled climbers will attempt the 5,400-foot sheer northwest face. Enduring sickness and storm, they struggle to become the first to stand on the west summit of GreatTrango. An expedition is a journey of discovery. Adventurous, willful, and daring. For 30 years, the North Face has helped explorers discover the unknown, both on our planet and within themselves. These are their stories on the North Face Expeditions. The North Face Expeditions is brought to you by MountainZone.com. Gear, coverage, life. Compact, powering Sting's brand new day worldwide tour. And by Chevrolet Trucks, the longest lasting, most dependable trucks on the road.
On a big wall, climbers live day in and day out in a purely vertical world, cooking, eating, and sleeping while suspended thousands of feet off the ground. The highest of the world's big walls can be found in the Karakoram range in northeastern Pakistan, with the GreatTrango Tower the most daunting of them all, a vertical mile high of continuous granite. 3 top American climbers, Alex Lowe, Mark Sinnott, and Jared Ogden, challenged the never-before climbed northwest face of this Himalayan monolith.
The big factors are weather, and that's always a big concern to me. We could get completely shut down. We could do nary a pitch on this thing if the weather doesn't shine on us.
Drenched.
Yeah, I mean,
second time in a row on this one pitch.
Yeah, and it's freezing now because the ropes are getting crispy.
Yeah, totally iced.
That is one sheathed rope.
Ready to haul? Okay. It's not the climbing I'm afraid of. It's not the altitude I'm afraid of. It's not any technical part of the climbing. The most fearful thing on GreatTrango is potential for rockfall to come and sweep us off the face. The reality about doing all these climbs is that they are dangerous. There's no way really to avoid that, and it's something that I worry about. But at the same time, I feel this need, deep down inside to push myself and to create these challenges.
This is the story of 3 men who have come to climb a mountain in a remote corner of Pakistan. Hitting the wall in more ways than one, the team must contend with emotional and physical challenges. If successful, their ascent will be the longest rock climb ever, 1 vertical mile. Tucked away in a remote corner of northern Pakistan is a jumbled maze of granite and ice known as the Karakoram Range. 5 of the world's tallest mountains are found here, and for this reason, mountaineers consider the Karakoram the most dramatic arm of the Himalaya. Among these alpine walls, GreatTrango Tower stands out as one of the biggest. The northwest side was long thought to be plagued by rockfall and considered too dangerous to climb. Its 20,600-foot main summit has been visited a half-dozen times, but the west summit and the enormous northwest face remain untouched.
I feel like it's a very unique piece of granite for the Karakoram or for anywhere in the Himalayas because it's very steep and super clean. It's my third tower here, and for me it's another great peak to do. This is a gem.
When I first saw this climb about a year ago, Mark sent me a picture and asked me if I was interested in doing this thing, and he told me at the time that there was a pretty big price of entry, i.e. a big slab. And the picture he sent to me showed a slab, and it looked big, you know, and it's sort of one of those things you sort of figure, well, you know, kind of ignore that and it won't be as bad as you think it is. But when I got here and looked up at the size of it, it was a pretty big slab.
The team has a month-and-a-half window to scale GreatTrango. With nearly 2,500 pounds of gear in base camp, they set their sights firmly on the northwest face.
We don't have to, we can. You know what that scale is? It's got to be 20. Okay.
Big wall climbing is essentially huge rock climbs, bigger than you can accomplish in a day. So you camp out on the wall, you haul this gear, you really sort of go with all your survival equipment, you know, in a big bag, and you haul it with you.
It's gonna be, this is gonna be a gnarly little wall.
It's a lot of fiddling and tinkering, so it takes a little bit of an analytical mind. Thank you.
Wow.
Now we're cooking with gas. Thank you, gentlemen.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Many hands make short work.
Yeah.
It also takes very small frontal lobes because there's a lot of hard work. Jenny's absolutely right. It is a guy thing. It's like getting all your little things together, feeling all warm and fuzzy that you got all the little parts.
Alex Lowe, 40, from Bozeman, Montana, is considered one of the best climbers in the world. Although he has summited Everest twice, he earned his reputation ascending smaller, more remote mountains in blistering fast times. His rare combination of fine-tuned skill, bear-like strength, and limitless endurance is legendary. Ironically, the central struggle in his career as a professional climber is not staying in top physical shape, but balancing his deep passion for mountains with an unyielding love for his family. Alex shares his passions with his wife Jennifer and their sons, Max, Sam, and Isaac.
The problem, of course, with going off to these places is the departure and the absence and the dilemma that creates in my mind. It's tough. It's like a lot of things in life. There's there's a real tug in opposite directions involved with this kind of climbing. You know, I want it more than anything, and yet when I've got it, I want what I'm away from more than anything. I hope that they see in me the ability to believe in yourself and follow your passions, be passionate about something. That's fundamental. That's my fundamental desire for them.
I'm off, Mark! Ow!
Mark Sinnott, 29, is the consummate big wall climber. He has completed numerous ascents on the great summits of the world. While Mark cut his climbing teeth in Yosemite, he is equally at home on rock or ice.
In my early years of climbing, I spent a lot of time in Yosemite Valley, living under a rock, you know, behind Camp 4. It was this really magical time in my life because I felt like I didn't really have to or need to or want to do anything except for climb. You know, everybody called me Scrappy. That was my nickname. There came a time when I actually contemplated, you know, doing that forever. But the thing that I didn't understand then is that as you grow older and you mature, you know, your perspective on life changes. Well, in the last year, I got married, and now I have a 2.5-month-old son named William. And it's the greatest thing that's ever happened to me in my life. It just feels totally right, just like climbing always did.
Mark, his wife Lauren, and infant son William live in Jackson, New Hampshire.
No color of his face.
He's really scrappy.
Jared Ogden is a climber obsessed. At age 27, he is the youngest member of the team. Traveling wherever the climbing calls him, Jared has accomplished first ascents on multiple continents. Mark and Jared share a long climbing history, exploring mountains from Canada to Pakistan.
Climbing, you put yourself in positions where you're really relying on your partner, you know, to have the same focus, to have the same idea about getting up something. And when you're in any life-threatening experience, you have a close bond with someone, no matter what. And it's a lifestyle too. I love living out of my car. I love going on the road. I love traveling around the world to go climbing. And it's a thing that we share.
Together, these three men are about to face the ultimate big wall challenge. As the local Balti people call out the morning prayer, preparations in base camp are well underway. Mark and Jared measure and cut bulk rope into 400-foot sections. The climbers will use the rope to establish their route up the wall.
Pull it out and come back and get this strand.
The team must break the route into two 3,000-foot sections, pulling rope from the first section in order to advance the second. The climbing is further complicated by the team's goal to be the first big wall expedition to support a daily website. In base camp, there are 6 computers and 2 satellite telephones.
It's great talking to you. Yeah. All right, babe.
On the first day of climbing, Alex rises from a sleepless night, feverish and weak.
Have the temperature rise here.
You just gonna take it easy today?
Yeah, I think I probably should.
You should
I
do.
feel pretty rough. Yeah, it's more value if I get
We kind
healthy.
of don't even really need 3 people.
No,
So.
no, I'm gonna rest a bunch. I gotta shake this. It's not getting any better. So.
The sheer magnitude of GreatTrango Tower surpasses anything ever attempted by the team. First, they must haul equipment and supplies up the low-angled slab before reaching the 3,000-foot head wall. Pushing the route to the base of the head wall by day, the climbers will return to base camp each night for food and rest. With Alex resting, Mark and Jared hike the 1,000 feet from base camp to the base of the slab to begin the climb.
So straight. If you win 2 out of 3, you lead.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
If you win, you lead.
All right.
Ready?
All right.
Rochambeau! 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 Oh!
Equipment is sorted and knots are tied.
Okay.
Jared is keen to lead the first pitch up this untouched face.
The bottom 2,000 feet of the wall is kind of dangerous in terms of objective hazard. There's a big hanging glacier that sends down a lot of debris. This is kind of the main no man's land because there is nowhere to hide. There's no overhangs, there's no little blocks to jump under. And it's pretty tough to dodge rock fall.
After fixing 600 feet of rope the first day, Mark and Jared return to camp and report their findings to Alex.
Got a big happy greeting down here.
Hey. Welcome.
Hey. Hey. Hello. There's a pretty good slab over there.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the slabs are just riddled with, like, these little debris zones from, like, all these rocks hitting. Yeah. You can tell.
you don't feel real good
Yeah.
when you're sitting there.
Full on battle zone.
There's a few spots where there's like no like little overhangs you can duck under.
Just sit there under your helmet.
Yep.
Pull your shoulders in. Get your entire body under your helmet.
With Alex still sidelined, Mark and Jared ascend the fixed ropes to their previous day's high point and begin the climbing routine, hauling up more equipment and extending their rope trail higher up the face.
Slack? Nope. Yep.
The lead climber places protection along the route as an aid to climbing and to safeguard against a possible fall, a process that is painstakingly slow and may only gain the climbers 200 feet per day.
How's it going, Jared?
Pretty slow.
After each lead, the climbers must haul up a bag of ropes and gear needed to accomplish the next pitch. Back in camp, the frustration is too much for Alex.
Alex is the type of character that really needs to be doing something. It's really bumming him out to be sitting around, and you know, that combined with being sick and, you know, watching me and Jared up here through the spotting scope, I think is really, you know, it started getting to him.
It is a bit frustrating to start off the trip this way, so don't feel like you're really in on the foundations of the climb, but I think the best thing to do is just, you know, take it easy. You really want to feel, you don't really want to start until you're whole.
He leaves base camp with hopes of finding his health at a lower elevation. With another day's allotment of rope stretched out on the seemingly endless slab, the climbers once again descend to camp.
Wall. The route goes somewhere up here.
We don't really know where Alex is. We assume he's in Paiute. He said he was going to head down there for 2 to 3 days. I think this is the 3rd day. So we're just assuming he'll be back and totally well again so he can get going on the climb. He actually hasn't been up here yet. If he doesn't show today, then we're going to be pretty worried because, you know, that'll be 1 day more, you know. We kind of didn't think that he would be gone for that long.
As light fades from the Karakoram, Jared and Mark anticipate Alex's return.
How's everybody?
Doing well.
Good.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
You feeling better?
Yeah, I got a pretty good crud going. I'm feeling better.
Really?
yeah, I'm kind of still out of breath, but I'm definitely on the mend. Much better than I was.
Oh, that's good.
Alex measures his recovery with 100 pull-ups.
These trips tend to be pretty motion deficient, and it's just nice to go sort of stretch out a little bit. I always like to hang up the pull-up bar just for a little energy. Feels nice.
Yes. You can tell I've been doing this for a while. Fine.
All right.
Right on.
With Alex on the mend, the climbers hope to establish their first camp 1,000 feet up the slab. This gives the team the option of working the route without having to retreat 2,000 feet to base camp at the end of each day.
Oh, yeah.
Taking turns on lead, the climbers challenge their skills and relish the resulting endorphin rush.
Making some progress. Right on, Jared.
It's the bag hauling that makes climbers refer to big walls as blue-collar climbing. Each bag might weigh upwards of 100 pounds, earning them nicknames such as the pig, or worse. After 12 hours of climbing and hauling, the men succeed in establishing their first camp.
My feet are cold.
Alex, it looks like you've been killing people.
It's embarrassing.
"2,000 feet above base camp, the climbers ready for another day, taping hands and fingers to protect them from the sharp edges of the granite wall. In Camp 1, the climbers ascend 400 feet through a steep rock section. 1,000 feet above, they hope to establish Camp 2 on a ledge just below the head wall. As the days pass, exhaustion begins to fray nerves. Minor frustrations emerge and escalate.
Oh, Mark, Jesus. Slack! Not rope drag, he just won't pay out. He's scarier than I am.
Weather only compounds tensions. Rolling up the Balturo Glacier, a storm swallows GreatTrango and the climbers. Progress up the route is stalled, and the team decides to return to base camp for rest.
It's snowing hard.
It's snowing hard.
Enjoying the relative comforts of base camp, the team takes time to mend. Perhaps the most vital tool of the trade, a climber's hands wear the story of their exploits and must be tended to. Another storm captures the climbers in base camp. Though safe, the team is again unable to climb. Clouds sweep across the sky, and the peaks dissolve into a mysterious gray monotone. With each passing day, vital supplies diminish.
That way out that soon, not anymore.
I have to say, you know, that we'll all be 2 points, 32 points away from the lake.
The days pass with intense inactivity. After 4 days, the weather clears. With time slipping by, the team must now put in a marathon day of hauling loads.
It's just a big wall in a sense that it's just sort of an overwhelming amount of work.
Starting at 4 a.m., the team hauls 600 pounds of gear over 4,000 feet to a ledge at the base of the head wall.
My glove is dusted. It's toast.
It was physically the hardest climb I've ever done. I've never hauled so much gear or just had to haul and jumar, and it's a lot of work and it really taxes you.
This day, Mark, Alex, and Jared hauled for 17 straight hours. With all gear at the ledge, the climbers are once again slammed by Karakoram weather. Climbing becomes a nasty chore.
Just knowing, you know, that the weather wasn't going to get better and I had to keep going up there and sort of keep butting my head against the wall, keep getting soaked to the bone. There's not a whole lot to look forward to when it gets to be like that.
Ropes ice up and become stiff as cables. But the team has had to endure more than storms and technical climbing to reach the ledge.
The last few days, there's been kind of a bad vibe, I guess, in camp. And it was when Alex took off for Paiute, there had kind of been some growing tension between he and I kind of realized once he came back, you know, we just weren't getting along that well, and we weren't really talking about what was going on and how people felt and stuff.
Mark and Alex are butting heads. It's a lot of conflict. It's a lot to deal with on the wall as far as emotions go.
You know, one of the problems has been the fact that we've been reading about each other on the website. So we read about each other's thoughts on the website, which has, you know, just created some bad blood, you know, and the lines of communication between us just got all jammed up. So today it kind of came to a boiling point.
What's happened here is that we found ourselves in a crucible that is new to us and is bringing out the best and, more important, I think, some of the worst in our character, especially Mark and I. I'll just be frank.
We talked for like 3 hours or something about all the stuff that's going on.
We basically, after going around circles, we concluded that we're all, as Scott Backey says, we're all broke, you know, and we've got, Mark and I have issues.
The energy hasn't been good, you know, and you can't do this wall without it. It's impossible.
Well, I wouldn't want to.
And it's impossible,
yeah.
You know,
yeah.
and we're putting it back together.
The seriousness of this impact is that we were kind of wondering whether we can carry on with this project, whether we were a functional enough group. I mean, this is a concern. I'll just cut to the chase.
Jared and I have such a kindred spirit, you know, that it's like a lot of times when I sort of voice my opinion, I'm actually speaking for the two of us. And Jared hasn't really said anything because he's just been in the background going, yeah, that's how I feel. But Alex, not really knowing that, has interpreted as more of me trying to be bossy, you know? Would that be right?
Yeah, yeah, I definitely find myself in a, you know, a bit of an odd man out role. I'm walking into an old and well-founded relationship here with you know, I'm a different beast.
And the other thing that's exacerbated the situation is little things that have happened, like with the media and on the website, you know? Like, Jared wrote something about how he thought he could do the climb without Alex. I wrote something to Lauren in an email, and the first few sentences were popped up, and he was reading his message next to it and sort of read it and wasn't super psyched on what it said. I read what he read last night, and I was already all worked up, and I thought, oh, you dick, you know, you're cutting me down, you know, and then we've all fallen into this thing where we're running in to check out the website and go, oh, how many quotes did I get? Oh, did they use my chronicle today? Or what did he say about me? You know, what is he thinking? And we're actually reading about each other's feelings on the site. You know, we look back and it's like we've always been good buddies, and just something just happened within the last few days, which has you know, sort of created all this tension. And it doesn't have to be that way. Like, we feel like if we just put our heads kind of to the grindstone, that we can overcome all this and come out of it good buddies in the end.
With conflicts aired and motivation renewed, the team unites and is able to focus once again on the wall. There is a saying that men who suffer together are brought closer.
I realize, you know, from past experiences that there's going to be times when it's not going to be fun, and that's a given. It's mostly just mentally hanging in there. You just have to persevere and take the good times with the bad.
Yeah. They're so really feel-good moves, aren't they? Just kind of big, kind of pump on out there.
Definitely gets the heart pumping.
You look so good.
You okay, Jared?
On the lead! Yeah!
Ow! Right high five, right here. Oh yeah! 3 days of hard
The ropes which have served as an umbilical cord between base camp and the upper ledge must now be pulled up and used to advance the route up the head wall. The team is now fully committed to the route and will only return to base camp when their climb is complete.
Climbing, I think, appeals to people who are goal-oriented.
Okay. Test it.
You decide on a goal, you sort of organize the event in your mind, and you go out, you let this thing unfold, and you know, if you're lucky, you get up it. You've also struggled to get it, which I think is really, really important.
Ready for the blades? Take it away.
You have to be good at sort of solving technical problems. So it takes a little bit of an analytical mind. It takes a lot of patience.
Pretty good crack?
Yeah.
Very good crack. Yeah. Killer.
2,000 feet below the summit, the climbers make shelter in a portaledge, a 4-foot by 6-foot Gore-Tex tent anchored to the wall. 2 climbers sleep head to toe on a suspended platform, while the 3rd climber is relegated to the lower portion of the tent, fondly dubbed Little Rico by the team.
Need a couple.
Yummy, yummy. Thank you.
Become a couple more.
Okay.
Okay, and then fire up your cup and I'll make you up a brew.
Jared's gonna lead this corner here. It's gonna be sick. Probably the best pitch so far in the route.
Do you think he's the man for the job?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jared's the man.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a long, hard pitch though.
I agree, pretty much. Getting ready to head out into the cold, windy Karakoram weather. Brrr. But the pitch looks so good, I'm pretty psyched about it. Mark, there's these beaks and peckers from your pitch.
I'll clean them up.
Clean that out.
You don't want the slings on them?
No. Well, I mean...
Kind of have to put them on anyways.
Uh-huh. One of the greatest payoffs for climbing to me is the mental breakthroughs that you have as you climb. It is more of a challenge with a game. You're putting a piece together, or you're very, afraid, and then you conquer your fear and you do it, and the rewards later, it's a knowledge that you're confident and you know that you can do things that you were otherwise afraid of, so you're breaking barriers. Right, Mark, I'm gonna move ahead on this. Okay, kind of funked it, but it's pretty good.
Even at this altitude, the climbers must maintain the website, sending in dispatches and digital images of daily progress.
Nice lead, Jared!
Nice, Mark.
That one's going south, eh?
Yeah, no, it's good.
Wow, it's starting to blow hard, baby. We had so many days of storm on this climb, it was just unbelievable. I mean, we basically did most of it during bad weather.
For 8 days in a row, we had storm, it just was like that the whole time we were climbing. You know, get up and go up all day, June morning, to get to start leading a pitch, and then it would storm, and it would be an ice storm, just drenched, soaking wet, like so many days in a row. What do you think, Alex? I don't know about the weather.
Well,
Pretty much.
that's as much of that as I can handle. I'm actually sort of feeling potentially hypothermic.
A window of blue opens in the early morning sky. The climbers are within 1 day's striking range of the summit, having advanced the route 1,400 feet above their cocoon-like portaledge. The climbers can no longer afford to be stalled by storm. The weather has slowed progress, and food supplies are running low. 700 feet of wall stand between the team's high point and the summit ridge.
Yep, time to go, boys.
Oh, yeah.
Ready to haul!
Yeah, baby. Go, Alex, go.
At 3 in the afternoon, the team reaches the ridge which marks the end of the northwest face. Inshallah. If Allah is willing, today they will stand on the summit.
I think it's good.
Yeah,
It's good to be here.
no doubt.
I think we've done a good thing.
Unbelievable.
This is unbelievable. Never seen anything so beautiful in my life.
Pretty outrageous. What can you say?
From the ridge, the panorama of the Karakoram Giants rises in mighty glory. The moment is sweet, but the journey is not over. 400 feet above lies the unclimbed west summit of GreatTrango Tower. The climbers weave a treacherous trail along the knife-edged ridge.
That's it. Nice, dude. Man, Desperado.
Secret weapon!
Couple pictures from the summit. How far away is Alex?
Yeah, Jared.
Please take this.
After 15 hours on the move, Alex, Mark, and Jared stand on the summit.
7 o'clock. We're on top of GreatTrango at 7 o'clock in the evening. And it's a beautiful evening. Gorgeous, really nice. Sort of sunset with it. It's great to be here.
Alex, we are very happy with what you people have done. Really, it's marvelous.
Yeah, we really appreciate your support and your excitement over what we're doing here. We're pretty darn excited ourselves.
On the summit, you are only halfway there.
We got very little light left, and we need to get down. Okay.
All right, let's get out of here.
I'm pretty psyched about
Be a little chilly.
back down.
We'll get
But we
down
made
fine.
it.
All thoughts are on returning to base camp safely.
I'm gonna chuck this out.
I was really motivated to get out of there. We had a long, really complicated descent down a knife edge ridge in the dark. We only had 2 ropes, so if the rope hung up, you know, it could have been a really serious situation. You know where you're going, right?
Yeah.
It takes them 2 days to descend. Reversing their labor-intensive chores, they must remove all bags and equipment from the wall.
Oh, thank you, Ali Khan.
I think the greatest challenges on this climb were mental. I mean, it just took a lot of determination to just walk up to the base and start this thing. When we all came in here, we were just sort of stunned by the magnitude.
Okay. Really done it up.
Yeah, bros.
Cheers.
Hey.
With the struggle of Trango behind them, Alex, Mark, and Jared finally savor their hard-earned achievement. They have accomplished the most difficult big wall route that any of them have attempted. GreatTrango Tower will forever be remembered as one of their greatest ascents. Less than 2 months after leaving Pakistan, while on an expedition to climb and ski Mount Shishapangma in Tibet, Alex Lowe was lost in an avalanche. GreatTrango Tower was to be his last summit. The North Face Expeditions continues Sunday, January 16th in the Great Himalaya of northern India, the world's largest mountains. 3 top American skiers embark on a journey through India's ancient cultures and into this land of giants. Their goal? To climb the Himalayan peak Deotiba and attempt a once-in-a-lifetime descent. The North Face Expeditions is brought to you by The North Face Never Stop Exploring, MountainZone.com, Gear, Coverage, Life, Compact, powering Sting's brand new day worldwide tour, and by Chevrolet Trucks, the longest lasting, most dependable trucks on the road.